This is Tom Cloud with this week's Precious Metals Market Update. There's a lot to talk about, but it all has to do with fundamentals and delays in silver and gold shooting up this morning as I record this on September 1st. The magic 2 months we've been talking about on this show for several weeks and even months is finally here. So we're now going to see who's right and what plays out. But I want to start off by talking about physical silver and physical palladium because we're getting mixed signals. Palladium has jumped from $550 to over $600 in 3 days as the Chinese buyers are betting that there will not be a recession in China. This is the reason you hear people talking about inflation. We're now going to have a race who can print the most money and who can stay out of recession and who can sell the most goods at the cheapest price. And that's what we've seen going on for the last 3 weeks is every time China devalues their currency, we devalue ours, but we don't call it devaluation. We sell our product or China sells part of their treasuries and drives the U.S. dollar down in value. And now after 2 weeks of what they've been called devaluation of the Chinese yuan, which is now right around 4%, the U.S. dollar has dropped 3.6%. So it is a race to the bottom. Nobody wants to give up being the strongest currency, the strongest economy in being able to sell goods in the world market. So what you're seeing in palladium is long-term bets that there will not be a worldwide recession, and palladium is way underpriced at $600 spot. And remember, earlier this year it was over 800. So many experts are saying the next 4 months we'll see palladium back at 800 by the end of this year, which would be a nice 20-25% gain. So for those that are concerned about palladium, this will ease the concern somewhat for the short term. Silver, on the other hand, you would have expected to jump because of its industrial uses and industrial demand, but silver has not jumped like palladium. And we've actually seen silver go back to where we actually saw 80-to-1 gold to silver ratio last week, where gold was 80 times more valuable than silver, which we've seen very few times in history. So they were now seeing that the ratio is back to 77.6. So silver is moving some, but still not like palladium. So all I can tell you is silver cannot continue the pace of volume without exploding, because every vendor, I spent yesterday, Monday, August 31st, on the phone for several hours chasing product, and find something delivered in 2 or 3 weeks was like finding a gold mine. It was exciting because most things are delayed 4 to 7 weeks in silver. But the good news is we're going to get it, and we don't put your money at risk. And you go in line as soon as you pay is when you get in line for your specific product to be mailed out. So I want to be sure everybody understands that. It's not the date you order it. It's the date we get the check, and it goes in right in order as we receive it, and will go out as we get the product. Most silver product is still 3 to 7 weeks backed up. I do not see that improving. It could get worse. So as long as you can get it in less than 2 months, it's still smart to go in and take advantage. The other thing we've gotten a lot of emails about over the last 3 days, because there were increases in premiums on Thursday by the mints, and then again yesterday on August 31st. And you can say they're high premiums, but this is what people are dealing with around the world. We've been fortunate. Demand has been down in the U.S. because we're always the last ones to catch on what's going on long term. So the demand has kept the premiums down and given you incredible buying power in metals. But that certainly has changed over the past 2 or 3 weeks, and especially the last 4 business days, as we've seen silver premiums on Silver Eagles go up 75 cents as to what they cost us and we're not making any extra. We're passing along all of the increase in premium, but we're not increasing the commission any. So it's still a good buy to get your hands on that. We have got some silver Britannias that are only 2 or 3 weeks delayed, so we'll sell those till we get those sold out, and then we'll continue to look for silver product. And as you talk to Dan and Kathleen, they'll keep you updated on what we have, and we'll continue to send out once a week the status on the silver. The gold, we're still in good shape. Most gold we're delivering in less than 2 weeks. Some of it we have immediately. You can see on our current mailing this week, we have 5 or 6 live items in the gold category. And we're hearing from our London sources that have been very accurate over the years that the central banks around the world are ready to pounce on gold in a huge way. They will wait until they see trouble that cannot be avoided, and they're not going to sit there as derivatives are wiped out. Stocks, bonds, leveraged future contracts, they're going to get a serious hit, in my opinion, before the end of the year. So you got to be alerted to that once the central banks move, you may be buying $100 or $200 or $300 higher than you can buy gold for today. And as I've mentioned the last several weeks, we just started today, September 1st, where gold has gone up over 7.5% for 14 straight years in those 2 months. And even as I record this, gold has already moved from 1334 to 1134 to 1142 as I'm recording this currently. So we're already starting to get that 2-month bounce. And certainly you as an individual have to decide how much you want to leave in the banking system. And this is something you've got to make a decision soon, because the menu, you have precious metals, foreign currency, both in ETFs or in physical currency, which is much more expensive and I don't recommend, or you get into maybe some high dividend paying stocks that have had stable value and put a stop on it. You can get in, look at what Jerry's doing at FTM with the brilliant shorts they did last week on the VIX, and some that we all hopefully profited from. So you need to get your plan together and have it together in the next week or two as to how you're going to sell through the next 2 months. How much cash you're going to leave in the bank and leave the chance to get bailed in. What you're going to do with your pension plans. How many metals you're going to have, percentage of your assets. Because there's no way I can guarantee you anything, but I can guarantee you that gold and silver are going to be significantly higher than they are right now by the end of this year, much less next year when people are expecting the big year of gold and silver being the year of 2016. So hopefully you'll get your money in place. So hopefully we've got you pretty much up to date. If you're not getting our email blast and email pricing, you can sign up for that at FTM Daily /gold or precious metals. And we don't share your email with anyone. If you don't like it, unsubscribe. And then if you need to talk to us about getting money into a precious metals IRA, and it's still not too late to get out of your rare coins and get them into bullion coins, because these telemarketing firms that are trying to tell you to buy rare coins are misleading you with a lot of deception, and you don't need that. You've worked hard for your money, and you deserve it. And then lastly, I just urge all of us to keep praying and looking up, because there's a lot of biblical ramifications for the next 2 months. Most of you know about the Shemitah. Most of you know about the 1420-week cycle. We know about the Feast of Tabernacles, all the things, Jewish New Year, crops coming in to India, all these things that are what bring gold and silver up have a lot of added fuel this year. And as I made a comment last week, and I want to say it again, I don't know what, but every time I start getting calls from a lot, and I'm talking about 15, 20, 25 pastors, people running ministries, foundations for ministries, and they tell the Holy Spirit is moving them to moving a percentage into metals. I don't think you can get any better confirmation than that. So with that, this is Tom Cloud with this week's Precious Metals Market Update, signing out.